Hi, this is a Bible review of the ESV Quentel, and sadly I erased my part 1, so some months later I'm doing another part 1 to add to my part 2. This contains more detailed information. This is a green, forest green basically, ESV Quentel, which is published by Schuyler, and it came out February, I believe. We got the first shipments then. And it is absolutely a beautiful Bible and contains many features and pluses that I think you would really enjoy if you like the ESV. And there are other options in the Quentel series, now the New American Standard, next year the New King James. And I understand the King James and the NIV are both slated in the 2 to 3 year range, and perhaps after that, who knows? Maybe a New Living Translation, wouldn't that be awesome? So here is my review. Let's start first of all quickly looking at the cover. This is the goatskin cover. It is a natural goatskin. By that you can actually see the grains, and there is a Jerusalem cross which is dry stamped on the front of this cover. Here is the spine. You can see the slightly raised bands, the gold lettering, very, very attractive. They've increased the size from the New American Standard version, which had too small lettering. And if you can get around the perimeter, this is also sewn, which is unusual. Only a few Bibles, like local church Bible publishers and a few others, sew the outer cover into the inner liner instead of merely just glue it. And that makes it a stronger attachment and hopefully a longer wear. This Bible, I believe, cared for is a 30-year Bible. A long time. I guess if you put it in a box and leave it, your grandchildren will have a like a new Bible. But if you use it half hour a day, I bet you'll get 30 years out of this. And at the very least, you could have it repaired, and it still would be available after that. Because Bibles last a long time if you're not rough with them or careless, etc. Get them wet, etc. All right. What else about this Bible? Well, first of all, it is 9 1/8 by 6 1/8 by 1 3/4. It is slightly longer and slightly wider than the NASB, but the plus is it is about 1/4 inch thinner. And that makes the fit to your hand considerably better. Now, I'm not sure small-handed women would still find this to be probably too big, but the difference between 1/4 inch less in the NASB and the ESV Quentel has been substantial to me. I've come to the determination I like a thickness of around 1.5 inches as ideal in this size Bible, but this is a big improvement, big step forward. And there's a reason this Bible is thicker. We'll get to that in a bit. Here is the inside of the cover. As I said, the outer and the inner are sewn together. This is a bonded leather liner. This is not stated on Schuyler's site, but I have this from the Schuyler representative. There's a gold gilt line all the way around, and of course goatskin cover printed on the inside. This Bible is tabbed into the block, which makes actually the liner has a flap, and then it is glued to the end pages that holds the cover and the liner to the book block itself. This is the strongest place. Most Bibles, this is also the weakest place. But Schuyler put what's called a black mull. It's a fabric that wraps all the way around the spine and back through the book block tabbing on both sides. There's a plus, extremely strong. There's a negative, it does not open flat, and it makes a squeaking sound for some people. So there we are with that. 3 ribbons. I'll get a picture of them here. Gold ribbons, 3 different color of gold, almost a brown, very light, and then a medium gold as well. A single presentation page. The NASB had multiple pages. This is better. In my view, they don't need any writing or by or on. Just maybe 3 to 5 lines would have been sufficient, like Cambridge does, but hey, they did what they did, and it's an improvement. Here we again, Schuyler is published in Virginia, and they are Evangelical Bibles, the same owner, and he has really brought a lot to the quality Bible world by his new series of Bibles that he's been coming out with, and I think more will come out because these have been a big success. The ESV, I will discuss that a little bit later, but not in great detail. It is an updated, revised standard version with some changes for other than modernization reasons as well. This Bible was typeset and designed by Tu Koog of Denmark and printed and bound by Youngblood of the Netherlands, which does Allens and Cambridges and Crossways and Oxfords, and they do a lot of the highest end Bibles. As you can see, there's a red hue to the exterior, but when it's closed, it becomes gold. This is what's called art gilting. There's a red dye underneath the gold gilting, and so it has two looks: closed gold, open reddish. It is a feature in the very highest end Bibles, and you find it in Allens. This is almost, it's a little better than some of the Cambridges, which are too light, but this is not as dark as Allen, the red. And there are Bibles also with blue and gold, which I had a blue NASB Quentel last year, which had blue under silver. There's blue under gold. There's a lot of options actually that could happen. There are only a few that actually do happen in the color matching. This Bible is smythe sewn. That means the book block is sewn together, so there's actually stitches. This is the strongest way that a Bible can be put together. It's on 38 GSM paper. That's the thickness and the weight and the opacity of the paper. This is the same paper as used as in the Cambridge wide margin, and at this time in 2015 is the best paper on the market, the most opaque, but it is also thicker than many Bible papers, and that leads to the Bible being thicker, and that's the price you pay. It has an 11-point font, which means the size of the lettering, and it's fairly bold. Now, experts in font will tell you size is not everything. Shape and other things factor into readability as well as boldness, and also the spacing between the lines adds to readability. But this Bible is designed for readability, from the paper to the font to the leading to the boldness. All of this is a reader's Bible, and the price again you pay is bigger and thicker. This Bible also contains black lettering. And by that I mean there's no red letters, the words of Christ in the New Testament. There were no red letters in the originals. It's just a recent innovation. Those who like it, God bless you. I don't like it. Now if you look at the page themselves, the page number, the header, which is the reference, the chapter numbers, the lines separating the text from the references, and the reference citations are all in red. And this is beautiful. And they're doing more of this than they did last year with the NASB. They've added a couple extra features of that. This is, again, just awesome. And I think we're going to start seeing other Bible manufacturers copy this because it is so presentable. You could go overboard. You could have every subheading with red, and when you got to a point where red becomes 5% of the page or 10%, it would be over the top. But this doesn't go to that line, and it's awesome. As I said, this is a very thick Bible. I'm going to turn to the back now. This is not a study Bible. It does not have a lot of extra features. You see no notes, anything like that. Here's the concordance. It is a nice, large concordance of 80,000 references. The headings and the references themselves are in red. My one ding on this is this. The print itself is very small. Not the headers so much, but the little individual ones. I can't believe it's more than a 6. I could be wrong. It could be a 5. I'm not certain, but no bigger than a 6, I don't believe. Nice large concordance. Short of having one at home that's complete or exhaustive, this is excellent. 32 pages of Oxford-produced maps, and these are the finest maps, in my opinion, on the market. They originally were printed in the New Oxford Annotated Bible 4th edition, and Schuyler obviously paid for the rights to put them in their Bible. Absolutely gorgeous. Previous Oxford maps were excellent. Some Cambridge maps were pretty good. Other publishers, they range from black and white, very poor, to okay color, but nobody matches the Oxford maps. Just awesome. Now I want to compare it to two Bibles I have with me for the purpose of this review. This is an NASB, large print, ultra thin, which isn't accurate, 07. Why I'm using this is this contains the famed French milled paper, and we can do a comparison. That we can. And we'll flip it up here, we'll put a page up here and let you see. Can you see the opacity difference? The French milled is better. And that is because it uses some material in the paper, some rag, some chemical process that made it more opaque. You can't get this anymore, but if you want to see the top of the top, this is it. And it is not line matched like the ESV is, which means each line is printed over top of the one on the opposite page. So there's some factors that really have made the Quentel better and have made up partly for the lack of opacity. But I don't know what the opacity rating on this. This is, I believe, an 84%. I gotta believe this is like 90% or more. It is fabulous paper. And In Touch, Bible NASB, and 02 and 03 Lockman's had this paper. No one has it anymore. I think you still can get an In Touch hardback with this paper from Foundation Publishers, but nobody else. And the price is escalating. This Bible is worth 2.5 times its original price right now. Another review, another day, and I hate to tease people with what they can't get. So you can get that Bible in currently a Chinese printing with inferior paper. Same layout. Here's another Bible I wanted to run by you and compare it to this one as well. This is the Cambridge Clarion ESV, and it's also printed by Youngblood. You can see it has art gilding, and it's lighter colored art gilding than the Quentel, and it has a print which is, now let's put it up here, basically a 9. It's called an 8 3/4, but it's a single column, and there's other good features about this little Bible. But I'm not doing a review on it. I just wanted to show you the paper is much, much lighter, and the opacity, even though it's line matched, is considerably less. But now here's the thing I want to run by you folks. What size Bible will you use and carry? Many people will not carry a Bible that's 3.5 pounds or so, 3 pounds, whatever this is. They might go with a Bible that's 2/3 that size, 2/3 that weight. Very possible. If you can live with a 9-point or an 8-point, you can get smaller, more slender papered Bibles that are thinner. You have to make all these choices. And I would not rush to get one that's cute and then say down the road, oh, it's just too small, or I don't like the layout. Or get one that's big like the Quentel and then say, oh, it's too heavy, I leave it at home next to my chair, and I carry this small Bible to church or Bible study or whatever else you do with it. You have to come to an educated decision. For me, this is a good reader Bible, but I have a Pitt Minion in my truck, NASB. And it comes also in many versions, but you have to make your choice. And if I have to put one in a backpack or in a purse, it isn't going to be this Bible. This is a sit in your chair reader or take the Bible study and put on the table kind of Bible. So that's the end of my part 1 review of the ESV Quentel. Oh, I forgot I was going to mention the version. I love the RSV 71. This is like a 92% the same. There's a lot of modernization of language. It's done by Crossway publishers and used conservative evangelical scholars for the most part. And it is more conservative in some readings than the RSV. and some people won't care for that. But if you love the RSV, which is a mainline translation, you love the reading flow of it, the beauty that it sounds when it's read out loud, very worshipful, you'll like the ESV too, because it has those same traits. Well, that's all I have for this review, and I